head would explode.
Oh, my head has exploded a million times. So let's see. We should be live. I'm hoping. No, it should be there. It says I'm live. God, there we are. Let's see if
We're good to go?
we actually got audio. It should be there.
Yeah. There it
Okay.
is. Now there's an
Holy
echo.
crap! We did it, Ray.
We're good.
We did it.
No we involved there. That's all you, baby.
Well, no. It was definitely
the good vibes. I sent you good vibes. Yep. Good mojo.
I was happy about that. Let's share it around here a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, can't do that. I'll get deleted. I did. Oh crap. So you into cryptocurrency at all?
No, I haven't gotten into that.
I talked to some guy in town here that was into it, and I didn't even realize.
I follow it. I don't know a lot about it. I have my own little pile of OTC stocks that I play around with. Not much money, just more fun time. But no, I'm not into Doge or Bitcoin or any of that stuff.
The Doge, dude. Doge is like the future. No, it's
not.
I
know. I'm behind the eight ball. I know. I like to keep my money because in OTC, I think I'd have a better shot of making money if I just went down to the casino and went red or black. My luck would land on green.
I can't play roulette for the life of me. All right, so I think we're ready to go.
Let's do it.
All right, Ray Churchill is here with us this morning from Eastern Connecticut Performing Arts Association. And, if you can see it right there, zoom in. We're talking about the Jazz Festival, which is happening on June 5th. And Ray, how many years have you done this now?
Yeah, Mike, we're a week and a half away. Well, this would have been our fourth. However, we had to cancel last year, obviously, because of COVID. We might have been able to pull it off, but it just wasn't the right thing to do. So we decided early to cancel it. Luckily, all the musicians that were lined up to do the gig last year, they just kept our deposits and said, yep, put us on the schedule for next year. So it's the same crew coming back, and I couldn't be more pumped about it. So this would have been year number 4, but it's year number 3.
Give us an idea how this all started a few years ago. How did this all come into fruition?
Well, if some of your listeners aren't familiar with ECPAA, Eastern Connecticut Performing Arts Association, we're a nonprofit performing arts and arts education 501c3 that got our roots settled here in the Griswold area back in 2011. And one of the pieces of our mission statement is we always want to bring entertainment, not only provide arts education, so our locals can get on stage, but we also want to bring in artists to kind of enrich our community. So it was, oh goodness, when was it? 17, I think, 16 maybe. I think it was 16. I'm fortunate to live right next to Phil and Lucy Urechko, Urechko Street Farm, and that's where the festival is. So Phil invited us over, my family over for 4th of July barbecue, and I'm just looking around and walking around his property, which is unbelievably gorgeous. And for those of you who know Phil and Lucy, Phil has a hobby of flying those little Cessna planes. So right down the middle of the tree farm is this gorgeous grass runway. Yeah. And it's a quarter mile of flat, beautiful grass that's surrounded by Christmas trees. So I'm standing up there at the barbecue and I'm just looking around and it starts boiling. And I'm like, this is perfect. I'm like, they'll never okay this. So I just saddled up next to him at the grill. I'm like, Phil, you ever thought of maybe hosting a concert or a music festival here? He goes, really? He said, yeah, we've kind of talked about that before, Lucy and I. And he goes, what do you have in mind? I'm like, we got to do a jazz fest. We got to do a jazz fest here. Yeah. He goes, well, let me bounce it off the boss, Lucy, of course. Yeah. Let me bounce it off the boss, and I'll let you know tomorrow. 9:00 the next morning. Ray, you up? It's Phil and Lucy out on the lawn. Yeah, this sounds great. We're going to do this. This sounds like a great idea. And we're so grateful that they did, or else, something that size, it would be very hard to find a home for it. Yeah. But I mean, we could fit thousands on that lawn. Hopefully someday we'll have to. We're expecting a crowd this year of 500, 600, 700 people and plenty of free parking. Half the runway is parking, and it's just going to be awesome. And now we're just praying to the weather gods, and hopefully hopefully that all works out. We've been lucky enough in years past that worked out for us.
Didn't you have one year where it was sprinkly a little bit, or?
Well, last year, the year we canceled, we had a big thunderstorm pop up in the afternoon. So it's a good thing, right? No,
Yeah.
we haven't sprinkled yet. They've been actually very warm and sunny days so far. So, we're hoping in this little mini drought that we're in now, hang on for just
a little bit longer,
a little bit longer, get us through the 5th.
So how many bands do you have this year?
We got 4.
Okay.
And we've had 4 or 5 in the past, and we've kind of changed the structure of things in the last year or two. Instead of more bands playing for fewer minutes, it kind of felt like year one, we had everybody going for 45 minutes and we churned out 5 or 6 bands. Just felt like just as the band got rolling, people wanted more. So we dropped it to 4 bands at an hour and a half apiece. And they'll play for an hour and a half. We'll have a 15-minute break for the tech crew to change everything and get going and test and get the mics tested and everything, and then we'll keep rolling. And the bands look like this. Again, same ones that would have been there last year. Some of our fans will recognize the names because these are killer. These are unbelievable bands. And side story, when we decided as a board to go ahead with this project, we discussed and I said, guys, if we do this, there's 2 things we have to spend money on: quality of the bands and advertising, because there's no point to doing it if we don't. So these are all pro bands. My buddy Lou Baccarelli, former music teacher down at the middle school, he gigs with all of these guys. And I'm like, Louie, just put me together a dream list. Put me together a dream list of bands of all the different genres of jazz music. And he put down a bunch of names. And he said, start at the top of the list. So I started at the top of the list on each genre, and every one of them said yes. So it's the creme de la creme. We're so lucky to get these folks. But anyways, we're starting off with the same band we started off Jazz Fest 1 with, and that is the Wolverine Jazz Band. Now, don't get confused. That doesn't mean Wolverine High School Jazz Band, even though they are fantastic. But the Wolverine Jazz Band is a 7-piece Dixieland band that plays all the old French Quarter, all the New Orleans ragtime type of stuff.
Okay, all right.
It's so cool. You feel like you're sitting down in the French Quarter and just, enjoying a beignet and a hurricane. And it really takes you back in time, and they are fantastic musicians. The second group is the Greg Abate Quartet. Greg Abate his album right now is #1 on the modern jazz charts, and nationally. And he is the only.
Where's he out of?
He's out of. Hold on, I'll get it. Greenwich, Rhode Island.
Oh, so he's local.
Local. He is local, and he went to Berklee College of Music. He's been around a long time, but he's the only guy that we have in the festival that plays internationally. He's known around the world. He's a stud alto sax player, and he plays some flute as well, jazz flute. He plays a style called bebop, which is a little more of a modern style. And bebop is basically a style where you got your quartet or your quintet, and the pace of the tune is really quick. And I'm going to show off myself as a soloist.
Are you talking like a Bill Haley and the Comets kind of bebop, or?
Oh no, different feeling.
Okay.
No, bebop in that sense is early rock and roll. Bill Haley and the Comets,
Right.
But coming after the swing era in the 40s and 50s, the musicians of the time, the jazz musicians of the time, kind of got bored with swing. It was fun and it sold, but it was like bubblegum music. So these guys all get together after hours and jam sessions, and they just want to show off their virtuosity. These soloists just want to go crazy and show that they're studs. So that was the evolution of the bebop form of jazz, and they are a bebop group, and he is unbelievable. Every guy in that group is unbelievable. Then we're going to number 3. Number 3, I stretched the genre of jazz just a little bit because it was a local band that's excellent, and I wanted to get them in, and that's Souls on Fire. And a lot of people know Souls on Fire around here. Kathy Baccarelli, music teacher at the middle school, plays in that band.
Oh, with Don Costello.
Don Costello, yeah.
I used to work with Don in radio years ago. Yeah.
She's the alto sax player for that band, and they're playing the casino all the time. And they're close to a jazz band. They're a big horn band. Yep. They're a Chicago Tower of Power style of horn band. They'll play a lot of those 2 artists, plus a lot of big horn kind of Motown and stuff like that. So it's a little outside the jazz genre, but they're very fun and they're danceable, and you'll be tapping your toes. It'd be great. And the last band we've had all 4 years, I can't do a jazz fest without these guys. They're the #1 requested band, and that's the Chris Lee Blues Band out of the Mystic area. Chris Lee, Rufus Davis on the keys, and they just
You
play.
gotta have a jazz musician by the name of Rufus.
Oh yeah,
You just
you
have
got
to.
Rufus is such he's such a great guy. He's so cool. But any of these bands that you want to hear, you can go on the ecpaa.org website, and we have YouTube links, and you can go and listen to the band on YouTube and check them out. But they'll play an hour and a half each, 15-minute break. We're starting at 1:30, ending at 8:15, and you can come and go as you please. You'll get a stamp on your hand. Come and go as you please. If you if there's one band you don't particularly want to see, but there's others you do, run off, do whatever you want to do, and come back.
Come back.
Yeah.
Now, is there going to be food and beverage and everything available?
There will be food and beverage, and that's one of the coolest things we changed for this year. We listened to a lot of the feedback from our fans and the public, and in the past we made it kind of a food truck festival. We wouldn't allow any food in, but we had 7 or 8 food trucks to choose from. And people, and I don't blame them a little bit, because I would too. If I'm going to an outdoor festival, I want to pack a cooler. I want to bring a sandwich and some snacks and whatever I want to drink. And that's what you want to do. So absolutely. So this year we're allowing coolers, whatever you want to bring in for food, for beverages, whatever you want to bring in.
Now that's cool.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that is a change from years past. So you're allowed to bring in whatever you want. But we still will also have a couple of food trucks for folks that didn't bring anything. And 2 of the ones that we have confirmed right now, one is a crepes and coffee truck. Get out, right? How cool is that? Crepes and coffee. And the
That's
other
a
one,
weird combination, but I can see how it works.
yeah, oh yeah. And another one is Rah-Rah's ice cream from the Plainfield area. They're coming down. So we're going to have ice cream and crepes and coffee and a lot of sweets for people to buy. Soda, water, all that kind of stuff will be on sale as well. But if you want beer or wine, in the past we'd make you buy it there. And now you can just pack up and bring whatever you want. And that allows us to keep the price down a little bit for our fans.
So you don't have to. So there's no beer or wine tent or anything like that. Just bring your own stuff.
Bring your own.
So that's a big difference.
That's a big difference. That's a
huge
huge difference, and it's a huge difference monetarily for people as well as convenience sake.
Yeah.
And I know, the board and I talked about it, and thinking about myself, I would much rather bring in a 6-pack of whatever I like to drink than pay $6 for a 16-ounce cup. Right. And
absolutely.
Absolutely. And for ECPA, it wasn't making us a dime. Right. The vendors would get the money from the sales. Yeah. So it wasn't benefiting us at all to stay in that form. So a lot of our people asked for it. We agreed with it. Let's make it a little more convenient, a little more inexpensive, and also to drop the price a little bit for people. Our adult price right now, because our early bird special ran out yesterday, our adult price right now is $25. That's nothing.
It's the same as it was.
It is. It's nothing for a 7-hour long jazz fest. Yeah. I mean, we're giving it away because we're trying to build a following. But anybody with a valid student ID, even up and through college age kids, if you have a valid current student ID, you're $15. So we dropped that down. So, if you got a 6-year-old kid that's at GMS or GES, they're getting in for $15. If you're a college kid and you're 21 years old, technically an adult, but you have a valid UConn ID, you're getting in for $15. And again, it's just an opportunity for us to build a following and get more people coming. I mean, eventually we're going to have to up those prices a little bit because, this is supposed to be a fundraiser for us, and we don't make much money on it. We'll make, $1,000 or something profit, which for us, trying to get to our goals of building a theater is not a lot, but we just want to provide for the community and give the community an opportunity to experience things that we don't have around here, right? Where are you going to go to a jazz fest? Newport? Yeah. And you're going to pay $150 for a 1-day Saturday ticket?
Now, this is the Jazz Festival, which is going to be June 5th. It's going to be at your Rechko's Tree Farm.
Yep.
In Griswold.
Yep.
How is I know you've been trying to build a theater and a music venue and stuff in town. Has there been any movement on that?
There hasn't been a lot of movement, honestly. Well, COVID really shut down our planning.
Sure.
And we got to get back in and doing that. And our last board meeting, we've started to talk about that again. We just at the point, right? Let's get through the Jazz Fest, and then our summer we'll be starting to put together. We have to find a way to build a relationship with some grant writers, because there is money out there. And grant writing is a fairly specific art, so we want to try to get some grant writers involved. But it's all money, it's all money. We in our first 10 years here, we have profited and received donations and stuff, which makes us in good shape to do what we're doing now. To take us to the next level, we're not even close. So it's a catch-22. When we go to the government looking for grants, they want to know what kind of private funding you have. When you go to private people to look for donations, they want to know what you have for government banking. So until someone bites on either side of that, once it does, it's gonna the floodgates will open, and we're gonna have a full working theater somewhere in the Griswold area in no time, because we're all set. We have the people we need. It's just money. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know that too.
Yeah. I put on a couple of things down at Veterans Memorial Park back in the day, in the last few years, and it's really all about money. It's about sponsorship money. It's
That's it.
whatever you can get to put on is the best show that you can put on.
Yep. And an event like Jazz Fest or any of the summer musicals that we've done or any of the classes that we run, that is to give the community enriching arts experiences, but it's also to call people to ECPA.
Right.
This is what ECPA is doing. That's so cool. And yes, it needs to happen. And we've been very fortunate that we've had some $10,000 donations and things along those lines. Back pre-COVID, we had put in for an arts and urban development grant, and it went through to the governor's desk, and then the money just ran out before we got to the top of the pile. That was for $500,000. That was going to be for $500,000. I
remember that.
Yeah. I brought Phil Michelle in to speak with me, and he did a great job. And we got on the governor's desk. They said, "Hey, that was a great presentation, very worthy cause. Put you on the governor's desk." And then the money runs out eventually, and it ran out before we got there. But with next Saturday coming, the 5th, it's so much fun. Even if you're not a lover, if you hear jazz, I don't listen to jazz. I'm a country fan. I'm a rock fan. Then you're a jazz fan. No, you don't really know how much you like it until you hear it.
Exactly.
Because jazz is such a wide open genre of music.
And that's what people don't understand. Sometimes, like, I've listened to jazz, I'm like, it's like offbeat, kind of like, there's like, to me, some of it didn't seem like it had any rhythm to it. But then I listened to like Dizzy Gillespie.
Oh yeah.
Or listen to like Louis Armstrong.
Yeah, Louis Armstrong.
Or
the Kings. They're the Kings.
Yeah. B.B. King.
Yep. BB's Blues. But that's, the Chris Lee band, it's B.B. King-ish.
Sure.
And then you get into the Greg Abate band, and that's Dizzy Gillespie, because Dizzy Gillespie was a bebop artist.
Right.
And you don't know that you like it till you hear it. And a lot of people have asked me, well, why jazz? Why not a country fest? Why not a rock fest? Because we have country around a lot, and we have rock around a lot. And this is something that is not mainstream in our area of the world. So we wanted to try to do something different, give people an exposure to a different type of music that you don't hear on a daily basis, and let them learn about it and fall in love with it. And there are a lot of jazz fans in Eastern Connecticut, and there used to be a Mystic Blues and Jazz Festival. That doesn't happen anymore. There's no jazz festivals in the Northeast corner, and there's nothing on this side of Hartford. So unless you're going to Newport and paying all that money, there's nowhere to go.
What a great alternative to the Newport Jazz Festival. Yep. It's just it's a great event, to get out there locally. You're gonna get the same type of experience.
You're getting the same quality of band, I can tell you that. Maybe Newport's gonna pull in some bigger names than we are right now. Again, it's all money. Right. You want to get Diana Krall or something, you're paying $20,000 for her set. We don't pay $20,000 for these bands, but we pay top booking dollar. So
that's a lot of money.
It is definitely a lot of money. We have some great sponsors that are helping us out with that booking money.
You want to mention the sponsors?
Boy, I would love to off the top of my head, but I'm going to forget one, and I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that. Terry Kaliva and our wonderful Tracy Wilson take care of the sponsorships, and I know who they are, but I am prone to a brain burp every now and again, and I would hate to insult anybody.
I have a weird tendency of insulting people, and I don't try.
But I can't encourage
Small
everybody
things.
enough to go to ecpaa.org, buy the ticket, pack your coolers, pack your baskets. You can, the little ones, I forget it. I believe it's 5 and under are free, 5 or 3 and under, something like that are
Mhm.
free. So bring your little ones. It's great for them to run around. If the weather is inclement or very hot or drizzly, bring a pop-up tent. Bring a beach umbrella. I don't care.
See, now, I never even would have thought about to bring a pop-up tent.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's
Yeah.
plenty of room, and you get the whole runway. And all we're
Right.
going to do is, if you have a pop-up tent, we're going to ask you to stay to the sides of the audience area or in the back, so you're not blocking anybody's
Sure.
view. So
sure.
a lot of pop-up tents came 2 years ago because it was a hot summer day. So there were probably 7 or 8 pop-up tents. Just like pop-up tent alley right across the back of the audience space, and they were loving it. They were sitting there having
Yeah.
their cocktails, their cheese and charcuterie boards.
Yeah, I
and
mean, you
loving
feel
it.
like you're in your own little element too. Like nobody's around. Like you have your own little box.
Yep.
And that's really cool.
Yeah, and the really great thing too is that the state has now opened wide up, and we were planning on having some COVID restrictions, and you can if you want to wear a mask, you're still welcome to. Sure, you want to socially distance, go ahead. If you have any concerns like that, still, you are more than welcome to do whatever socially distancing, mask wearing you want to do. But the state of Connecticut says you don't have to wear anything
Right.
for outside events now, and most inside events. So we're not going to require a mask. You come in and it's going to be a normal event.
Come as you are.
I didn't know we'd be singing today, Michael.
I don't sing.
I know.
You sing. I don't sing. I'll take you on a
All right.
singing contest one day.
Yeah, we got it. Got to be public though.
No, that's not happening. That's not happening.
And with wallets in hand.
No.
No.
I'm not screwing the pooch
I
there.
wouldn't,
Man,
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you'd hurt me.
No, that's
Please,
okay.
Hammer, don't hurt him. So anyway, June 5th starts at when?
It starts at 1:30. Gates will open at 12:30. You can purchase at the gate. We do have the ability to take credit card. We do have cash. We'll take a check. If you're going to be going for any of those discounted prices, please have an ID with you. You can still buy tickets up until that day on the website. That's www.ecpaa.org, and you can purchase whatever you would like on there. It is a rain or shine event, so unless the weather is dangerous, unless something ridiculous is happening, we're going to go.
Right.
And I've already paid the band, so
Yeah, you ain't getting that
they're,
back.
They're
So
playing anyways. We got a big beautiful band shell tent over the stage, so they can play unimpeded. Anybody is welcome to bring any type of pop up or tent that they would like to do to sit out. And it's just such a cool.
sounds like such a great event.
It's such a cool event because if you haven't hung out with a jazz crowd, they're just cool people. They're
Cool
they're
cats.
not rowdy.
Yeah.
They just want to sit back, pop a bottle of wine, open a good beer, and have their cheese and cracker plate or
Sure.
whatever they want to do. And everybody just sits, and some of the bands will get you up dancing, especially the third and fourth band, Souls on Fire and the Chris Lee band.
Yep.
They will definitely get you up dancing. They'll
Definitely
have
Souls on Fire.
plenty of room to dance, and it's just so much fun, and it's so great for the community to come together, especially with all of us being locked up for a year and a half.
This is like the perfect event, Ray. After the pandemic. Is the pandemic over? I'm saying yes. I'm calling it. It's over.
I'm calling it.
And to celebrate the end of the pandemic, we go to the ECPAA Jazz Festival on the 5th.
That's right.
That's all you have to do.
That's it. And so
That's
many
it.
people have said our pre-ticket sales right now are triple what they were 2 years ago.
Celebrate the end of the pandemic at the Jazz Festival on June 5th. Damn it.
I promise you will not be disappointed. You will love it. And don't think, oh, I don't ever listen to jazz. I don't like it. No, you probably don't like the jazz they play in elevators, but you're going to like all the other stuff. You're going to like all the stuff that's coming because I don't pick the bands based on some snooty, I want to put on a very classic jazz fest. No, I pick them for who the audience is going to like because I want to be sitting in that chair too, watching them. And I just want to dig it. I just want to move. You know what the coolest thing is, Mike? The bands come in and they can play and they can leave right after their gig's done.
Yep.
Right? They don't.
They hang out.
They hang out.
Yep.
They bring chairs, they sit down, and they watch the other artists play. That's when you know it's good. When the guys in the previous band don't want to go home. They just sit there and everybody's rocking and appreciating everybody's talent. It's just
they're there for the vibe. Man.
That's
they're
it.
there
It's
for the
just
vibe.
such a good feel-good day.
Yep.
It's so cool. And I know Jewett City Savings Bank will be there, and they're doing a fundraiser, not a fundraiser, a giveaway where there'll be some $100 bills being handed out. So I'm gonna have to.
What?
I was briefed on it quickly, but I know that JCSB is going to be handing out some cash.
I'll be seeing Mr. Merchant today, and I'll ask him.
Yeah, Diana Rose.
Ask
Ask Diana Rose about it.
Oh yeah, yes. Kevin doesn't know nothing about this. Anyway. All right, man. I appreciate you coming on in. It's June 5th. The Eastern Connecticut Performing Arts Association. It's the fourth yet third.
Yes,
right.
Should have been fourth annual,
but it's the end of the pandemic celebration. ECPAA.org. You can still get tickets. You can get them at the door. Just go and just feel the vibe and have a good time. And this is like the very first event where people can get out in this area in Griswold, Plainfield, Canterbury, Putnam, Center Village. Keep going on.
They come from
Lisbon,
all over
the
we
place.
get the whole turnpike.
Topeka. It doesn't matter. Show on up. It'll be a great feel-good event, and everybody will just have a good time. So
Thank you,
thanks,
Michael.
Ray.
I'd like to, before we cut off, I'd like to thank my board, the board of directors for ECPAA. That's Dr. Mark DePonte, Terry Kaliva, Tracy Wilson, Paula Micatel, and Ginny Ann Campbell, and our wonderful marketing assistant, Josh Burkhart. And we just couldn't do it without that team effort and our whole crew of I mean, we have hundreds of volunteers.
Right,
it's so
right.
cool that so many people want to get involved in what we're doing. And here is the official.
There's the shirt.
That's the official. That's the we wanted to go nice and colorful. Nothing cool and artsy. Nice and colorful. Right. Forget the pandemic. We're gonna have a summer party. So that is the shirt. I'll be wearing it on stage as I'm emceeing the event, and they'll be for purchase at the event as well. So
very good.
We love it. Dude, thank you, Michael.
We will see you soon.
Appreciate the interview. Thanks so much.
No problem. That's Ray Churchill, not just from Griswold High School, of course. From the Eastern Connecticut Performing Arts Association.
Wearing the two hats.
Yeah, between that and the plays, I can't wait till the plays start again.
Oh, from your mouth to God's ears. That's right. Yeah, 2 years without one. But we got the directorial team is all back together, and we're putting something together for next year. I don't know what show it is yet, but it'll be awesome. Remember, this is something that is tough to consider, but on day one of next school year, I'll have heard 1/4 of the student body sing. That's as much as I'll know about what I have. I will not have heard freshman, sophomore, junior.
It's kind of like starting from scratch.
It really is. That's how we feel. We're starting. I don't know what my numbers are going to be. I don't know what the groups are going to look like. I have no idea.
You know what'll happen for sure. People will buy tickets because I love the shows every year.
Thank you.
Every single year I go.
Yeah, the kids really bust it to get it done.
And they're good. And it's a good show. It's good quality stuff. So.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll be ready.
All right. Ray Churchill, thank you very much. We got Psychic Tuesday coming up in a couple of minutes. Keep it right here on SN. I can't even speak. SNSN News right now. So we'll be back in a minute right here on the Streaming News and Sports Network.
The flagship for Griswold High School sports and your home for local news and weather.
Broadcasting from Main Street in the borough of Jewett City.
The Streaming News and Sports Network, SNSN.
The 9 a.m. report on the Streaming News and Sports Network is being brought to you by Charlene's Diner, 37 Main Street, Jewett City. Family owned for almost 40 years. Order what you want, eat what you get. That's Charlene's Diner.
I love working here because of the people, and I get to work with my family every day.
Come to Charlene's Diner for the best breakfast you've ever had.
That was Brittany and Matt from Charlene's Diner on Main Street in Jewett City. There are only a few things that have been able to stand the test of time in Jewett City, and one of them just happens to be Charlene's Diner.